Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am Daryl McNair, chair of the Maltz Museum Stop the Hate Committee. Thank you for joining us to learn more about this year's Stop the Hate program. A scholarship contest, classroom workshops, and student tour opportunities. The Maltz Museum and their valued partners have done an incredible job growing the Stop the Hate program, now in its 16th year. Rooted in the Jewish value of respect for all humanity, the Maltz Museum shares stories of courage from history and today to create a more inclusive tomorrow. Each year, the museum opens its doors to 10,000 students who come to participate in tours. One of the most popular in our Stop the Hate tour, which complements our flagship Stop the Hate anti-bias education program. You can access a digital version of this tour online for free at learn.maltzmuseum.org. Again, that's learn.maltzmuseum.org. Thousands of 6th through 12th grade students participate in our Stop the Hate program every year, using their words to speak out against bias and discrimination. They compete for a chance to win $100,000 in scholarships, grants, and prizes. To date, we have given out over $1 million in awards thanks to the generosity of a donor. Let's take a moment to meet a few of our inspiring students from the 2022-23 school year.
Our generation often talks about how important it is to be an agent of change, to be a source of light.
My new high school, in a small, predominantly white town. I quickly noticed that I was the only person of color.
I pleaded with my mom to straighten my coarse hair so that I could finally fit in.
In class, a boy blurted, "Ching Chong." Everyone laughed. Being half Korean, I was really hurt.
I brought Indian food to school. These stares and questions did eventually make me stop eating my food.
My schools decided to host a soul food fest to honor Black History Month. They served fried chicken, watermelon, grains, banana pudding, and Kool-Aid, all stereotypical Black people food.
My father started taking me to rallies so that I could engage in civic discourse. A police officer said he had been told my father had a firearm on him. This was a lie. I knew the hatred behind the lie could be fatal.
Have you seen the tweets yet? My friend rushed to ask me. Some read violent statements telling a girl to kill herself. Others targeted LGBTQ students, calling them slurs.
We were spat on, told we were pigs.
Kids follow what their parents say, and if their parents choose to hate, that hate will spread.
I saw a mother whisper in this little girl's ear, and the girl shouted, "You're laughable, you gays!" A small girl being coaxed by her family.
No one is born hating anyone.
Growing up as a Jewish child, I was educated on the Holocaust. In my global studies class, we did not read any first-hand accounts or engage in serious discussion. I felt like my ancestors' history was being erased.
The world we live in has had its dark moments.
In darkness, we can't see where we are going or what we are doing.
I was sitting in the back seat of my mom's smoke-filled car when the police knocked on the window. My mom was higher than I had ever seen her. Everyone saw my mom get arrested. This is when the bullying started.
Have you ever had a friend who was a bully, but stayed friends with them so you wouldn't get bullied too?
Saying hurtful things about people is wrong, and it happens more often than it should.
One day, I had enough. I told her, if you keep being a bully to other people, I don't want to be your friend anymore.
When I stand up for someone else, there's two of us. We stand together.
I want to be able to shine a light on this bias against Asian Americans, to help make a change.
I am determined to make a change.
We should use our talents in writing, poetry, art, film, or performing to shed light on the challenges people face daily.
Now that I've experienced hate and found my voice, it's my responsibility to shine the light of my advocacy.
By shining a light, I hope to not only honor the memories of Holocaust victims, but also to help ensure protection for future generations.
By shining a light on my situation and being a light for someone in a similar situation, I can help destigmatize addiction.
When people feel seen and heard, they are mentally healthier.
It's okay to be different. It's what makes us special.
It's okay to love who you do, to be who you are.
Your culture shouldn't be something that shames you. It should be something you display and are proud of.
Emailing my principal was the first time I stepped out of my comfort zone and said something about the ignorant racism in the school. And I am glad I did it, because now my principal is very active in learning more. Now we have a committee to prevent further injustices.
Being a source of light is difficult, but creating lasting change is more like starting a fire with damp wood. It may not light the first time, but if you have courage, if you are persistent, if you connect with others to find common ground, and if you continue to advocate for change, it may just catch and provide you with light and warmth in the darkest of nights.
Together, we can stop the hate and shine our light for good.
Every year, we're blown away and inspired by the young change makers right here in Northeast Ohio. We cannot wait to see what this year's students will do. The scholarship contest has always been our flagship program, but in the last few years, Stop the Hate has grown into an anti-bias education platform. In addition to the contest, we have been providing free essay and songwriting workshops, anti-bias education grants, and online learning tools for teachers in schools. These offerings are made possible thanks to the dedication of our partners at Roots of America Music, Lake Erie Inc., and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, in addition to the Mulch Museum staff. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to our staff. Courtney Krieger, Manager of Family Programs and Outreach. Wave and say hello, Courtney.
Hello.
Liz Novak, Manager of Education. Liz, please wave and say hello.
Hi, everyone.
And Renee Leonard, Development Associate and Grant Writer.
Hello, all.
All right. At this time, I'd like to pass the mic to Courtney. Courtney?
Thank you, Daryl. We're just so happy to have you, and it's been wonderful to work with you the past few years, and I really am always inspired by your passion too. Thank you. And hello to our friends who have joined together to learn about the Stop the Hate program. My name is Courtney Krieger, and I am going to take a few minutes to share with you how students and educators can participate in the Stop the Hate contest this year. Please place your questions in the chat if you have any questions tonight or comments, and we can answer them later. Renee is going to manage that. The Stop the Hate program, which meets the state of Ohio education standards, has a contest comprised of two components. The first is the Youth Sing Out Songwriting Contest, where classrooms of 15 or more submit their co-written songs. The second is the Youth Speak Out Essay Writing Contest for individual students to submit their personal essays. What is the Youth Speak Out Essay Writing Contest? The essay contest invites 6th through 12th grade students to write a personal essay in 500 words or less about bias or discrimination that they have witnessed or experienced in their own lives, and what they have done or will do in response. Any 6th through 12th grade student may participate as long as they live within one of the following counties: Ashtabula, Cuyahoga, Geauga, Lake, Lorain, Mahoning, Medina, Portage, Stark, Summit, Trumbull, and Wayne. This year, students submitting essays will be asked to respond to the following prompt. I no longer believe that we can change anything in the world until we have first changed ourselves. Etty Hillsum. Etty Hillsum was a young Jewish Dutch woman who wrote diaries in Amsterdam during the Second World War. In 1943, she was murdered at Auschwitz at only 29 years old. Etty believed internal personal change was a necessary first step to bringing about positive change in the world, and that this was the main lesson to be learned from the Holocaust. Etty bears witness to what it means to be human and commits herself to a radical choice, not to hate, even as she opens her heart to the horrors unfolding around her. For this essay contest, in honor of Etty's message, we ask you to share your story. In 500 words or less, describe a moment of injustice, bias, discrimination, or exclusion, something you witnessed or experienced, or a time when you learned about an unjust situation or event that affected you or others. How did this moment impact the people involved? What kind of personal change does this experience inspire in you? How can your personal change lead you to make positive changes in your community and the world? How have you or will you affect others positively? Essays can be submitted online through our official entry form. The submission portal is open now and accessible at learn.maltzmuseum.org. The deadline for grades 6th through 10th grade essays is Thursday, February 8th, and the deadlines for grades 11 through 12 is Thursday, February 15th. The main difference between the essay and songwriting contests is that students enter as individuals for the essays, whereas students enter as part of a class for the song. Liz, would you share more?
Thanks, Courtney. We are so excited about this opportunity for schools and students. I'm Liz Novak, and I manage workshop operations for the Stop the Hate program. Courtney mentioned that the only way to participate in the songwriting contest is through a classroom. Let me explain how that works. The songwriting contest is accessible to any 6th through 12th grade classrooms in the 12 counties mentioned earlier. In order to enter, classrooms must participate in a free songwriting workshop where the class will work with a teaching artist from Roots of American Music to write an original song. This song becomes the classroom submission to the contest, where the lyrics will be judged by a panel of music experts selected in partnership with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The top winning classrooms receive anti-bias education grants for their schools. Songwriting workshops can be scheduled now through Monday, January 8th, in order to make our song submission deadline on Thursday, February 15th. In addition to songs, we also offer writing workshops with our partners at Lake Erie Inc. New this year, we are excited to share that writing workshop students will have the unique opportunity to write an essay, a poem, and/or a reflection paragraph. The essay and the poem will be submitted to the scholarship contest, where the paragraph will be submitted solely for program participation. For the 2023-24 school year, poetry will be accessible exclusively for our Lake Erie Inc. workshop classes. Educators are not limited to one or the other. To get the most out of the program, you are able to choose to participate in an essay writing workshop and/or a songwriting workshop. Let me show you how it works. First, educators choose if they want to participate in a songwriting workshop, essay writing workshop, or both. After accessing program information through the Maltz Museum, educators and workshop leaders will be connected directly to schedule their classes. Before the workshop begins, teachers will assign the Stop the Hate digital tour. This can be done as a group activity or assigned as individual homework. Then, classes will begin working with a teaching artist for a series of lessons. We will hear shortly from our partners who will describe their approach and teaching style. After the sessions are complete, your songs, essays, and poems will be submitted to our Stop the Hate contest, and your hard work will be celebrated. I would now like to welcome our partners to share more about what their workshops entail. We will first hear from Lake Erie Inc., who operates our writing workshops, then Roots of American Music, who run our songwriting workshops, and lastly, we will hear from our 2023 Teacher of the Year, Anitra Howard from Milkovich Middle School, who will share her experiences participating in Stop the Hate. I will now turn it over to Cynthia Larson, Education Director at Lake Erie Inc.
Thank you, everybody. All right, so I'm happy to be here tonight to talk to you a little bit about what we do. This is our fourth year doing, I think it's our fourth year doing Stop the Hate workshops with the Maltz Museum. I'm going to tell you briefly a little bit about what we do and some of the advantages and benefits for your students. When we come to your classroom to teach the Stop the Hate essay, we will motivate and inspire your students. We'll teach students new writing strategies and guide them through the entire writing process. We will help your students create authentic and powerful narratives and help them experience the power of revision. So we always try to make time for revision. Here are some things students have said in past years about our writing workshops. I learned to step out of my comfort zone and to express myself. I learned how to effectively express my thoughts and how to use details to make a story come to life. And the third one that I really like, you can make more change happen when you work together. The things that we do to make all of this work are we build relationships with the students and between the students. We create a safe climate. We share effective mentor texts, both essays and poems and videos. And we are mindful of student needs and experiences. We try to provide activities for diverse learning modalities, and we respect student experiences, voices, abilities, and ideas. We're really excited about this prompt and this quote because we think that it allows us to talk to students more deeply about their personal change and how that personal change can affect the world around them. We're asking them to think deeply about change and to do the things that work best within their own environment. So this prompt really, we think it's really going to work for a lot of our students and a lot of your students. What students have said in the past about taking action and making change, I'll just share a few of these. Sorry. No matter how small an act is, it can still help someone. It's okay to be myself, even if I get judged. And I also learned it's okay to think differently than other people. I learned that sitting down and thinking through your problems is unimaginably therapeutic. And I am not alone. Everyone makes mistakes, but I need to correct the mistakes. Another way that this year is different, besides the new prompt and the new focus on Etty's quote, is that this year, if you work with Lake Erie Inc., only if you work with Lake Erie Inc., we're piloting a poetry contest. And we're very excited about that because the impact of poetry can be huge, not just for the students who write the poetry, but for the audience. The poetry prompt asks students to reflect on the quote and write at least a 12-line poem. The poem needs to be original and specific. And at the same time, we want to leave a lot of room for different kinds of poems that are about issues of discrimination, bias, exclusion, and injustice. I want to take a minute. This is why I've been talking so fast. And I want to share a video with you of a poem by Clint Smith so that we can just all experience for a minute the power of poetry.
I'm Clint Smith, and this is Ode to the Only Black Kid in the Class. You, it seems, are the manifestation of several lifetimes of toil, Brown v. bored in the flesh. Most days the classroom feels like an antechamber. You are deemed expert on all things Morrison, King, Malcolm, Rosa. Hell, weren't you sitting on that bus too? You are everybody's best friend until you are not. Hip-hop lyricologist, presumed athlete, free and reduced sideshow, exception and caricature, too black and too white all at once. If you are successful, it is because of affirmative action. If you fail, it is because you were destined to. You are invisible until they turn on the Friday night lights. Here you are star before they render you asteroid, before they watch you turn to dust.
All right, so this year, We, because we're introducing poetry as part of the Stop the Hate essays, I have to tell you that the other way that it will be different for those of you who've worked with us before, and for everyone, is that we're going to be asking classroom teachers to help prepare the students more during the week or weeks leading up to the workshops, so that we'll have time to teach poetry and help with the submission of essays, poems, and reflections on the last day. Both the Maltz Museum and Lake Erie Inc. have resources that will help you prepare your students. What your students should know before we come. What are stereotypes and microaggressions? What are some examples of injustice, bias, discrimination, or exclusion? What is the pyramid of hate and what does it demonstrate? What are some examples of how people speak out against and stand up to hate? What was the Holocaust and how is that history and African American history related to stopping hate in all its forms? Now, we have many useful resources through the Maltz Museum. Every class is required to do the Stop the Hate digital tour, but you can also do the Holocaust Survivor Talk and Q&A. There's a learning progression available on the website. And when we schedule with you, we'll send you some other resources and things that you can do to cover some of those materials ahead of time. You don't have to do all of it, but if you're able to touch on some of those things and your students are a little bit more warmed up to the topic, it'll move more smoothly. All right, quickly, I'm going to go over the outline. In session 1, we'll be establishing a safe space and creating relationships and doing some free writing that we hope will start to build up towards a beginning part of the essay. In session 2, we'll do some more free writing and discussion and focus more on part 1 of the essay, so that by the end of session 2, students might have 2 or 3 short free writes that they can choose from in order to write their essay. After sessions 1 and 2 and before session 4, we're hoping that students will spend a little bit of time typing up that first part of the essay. Okay, for session 3, we're going to stop and focus on poetry on Stop the Hate themes and give students some prompts to write poems. For session 4, we'll spend some time reflecting on experiences and on personal change and how to move from a personal change to becoming an agent of change. For session 5, we'll spend time on revision and emphasize sensory details and figurative language. And session 6 will be where we polish everything up. And hopefully, if you need us to, help you with the submission process for the essays. So you can see why we're packing so much in. I'm going to end with this. These are some of the things that students have said in the past about learning about stopping hate. My voice has so much power. I'm going to come back to that in the end. I have to say it twice. It takes a lot of courage to stand up to others in this world. I can stand up for myself and others, even if it means losing friendships. Everyone goes through something, don't matter who you are or your skin color. Even the little things can hurt people. Also, it is possible to hurt someone without knowing it. My voice has so much power. Okay, and now I'm going to turn things over to Tam Sievertson from Roots of American Music. Thank you.
Hi, Cynthia. Thank you. And hello to everyone. As Cynthia said, I'm Tam Sievertson with Roots of American Music. And I wanted to start by saying that there are really, Liz mentioned winning songs earlier. There are really 2 categories. There's grade 6 through grade 8. Those songs are looked at together, and the judging will have the rubric in a moment for that. Not yet, though, please. And then grades 9 through 12 are the other division for songs. Generally speaking, this is a in-person, in your classroom experience, but we can possibly work out some virtual possibilities. That would be done individually with teachers if that's what we need to do to include your classes into this. As much as possible, I try to get 3 or more classes scheduled as close to back as possible. So a teacher, teaching artist, one of our Rome teaching artists, when they come out, would do 3 classes in a row or 4 classes in a row, rather than just 1. So in some instances, it may mean, if possible, for you to try and get another teacher to participate as well. If you were to have a first period and third period class, for example, that you wanted participating, if you could find another language arts teacher or history teacher or we've had lots of different classes, music classes as well. During second period to fill in that gap, that would be good, but that's something we'd talk about individually. Visit number, Courtney, can you put up the first screenshot, and I'll just kind of glide through this. Visit 1 is we basically establish rapport with the students. I should have said prior to visit 1, the classes take the Maltz Stop the Hate virtual tour. And I ask teachers to do that the class period, the class session the day before, or as close to our first visit as possible, so that the material they've seen and the material you discuss is freshest on their mind. Visit 1, we establish rapport with the students. We discuss the topics and focus of the Maltz Museum tour, and we whiteboard. I ask teachers to write down students' comments as we go along, and this is generally for all of the classes, so that we have the students' ideas and the students' words. In between visits, the teaching artist is working on the songs as well. And if they have things on a whiteboard that they can take a picture of with their cell phone, then as they're crafting things and working on putting together the ideas of the class, they have the students' words. So it just makes it easier all the way around. We might define words, ask for words that define love or words that define hate. Talk about diversity and tolerance and bias, maybe discuss relevant examples from the news. And then on the first visit, we talk about the songwriting class, songwriting process, and the structural elements of a song. The class decides on the focus of their original song, and they begin writing the song, usually starting with the chorus of the song or the hook of the song. Visits 2, 3, and 4, they continue writing the song. There is additional discussion within the classes, within these classes as well, and they're looking to complete the hook or the chorus of the song, and they start writing different verses to the song. Perhaps they have another section, a bridge that they include to the song. So they're working all of the structural things out in the visits 2, 3, and 4, so that by the end of visit 4, the song is really complete. The teaching artist has the time between visit 4 and visit 5 to kind of rework things a little bit if they need to, just to have it, make any final edits or adjustments. Visit 5 is the last visit with a Rome teaching artist. They make any final edits they need to the song, and they rehearse the song. Coming in on visit 5 is the same teaching artist they've had for the first 4 visits, but a recording engineer also comes to the 5th class and records the students performing their song. And of course, as they're writing their song throughout the 5 visits, they are singing the different parts, so that it's not that they're learning the whole song right at the end. They've been working on it throughout. After the final recording, we, as quickly as possible, when we can get the, actually, I don't even think we wait for a final edited version of it, the final mixed version. I try to get a version on an MP3 that I can send to the classroom teacher, so you can play the recording for your students as quickly as possible after the 5th visit. I will try and do that. The one thing I ask is that you do not, you can share it with your students in terms of playing it for them so they can hear themselves. I ask that you don't make it available to them to download and have for themselves, because we want to wait until after the final essay contest judging has happened and the big essay contest event is over before we make it available to the students. And once that essay event is over, The Maltz Museum puts all of the songs created by every class on their website, and Roots of American Music, which we also go by the acronym ROAM, we put them on our website as well. And at that point in time, I will give you the links to our websites, and students can go there and listen to the songs as much as they want, or download them for themselves if they want to keep the song. If you would, Courtney, can you put the rubric up? This is the rubric that the judges are using as they judge the songs. And I will repeat what Liz says. The songs are judged on the lyric content. The judges do get to, the final judges do get to hear the recording of the students performing the song as well, so they can get the entire feel of the song and the atmosphere, the accompaniment and that type of thing. But the actual judging is based on the lyrics alone. And these are the things they're listening for or looking for. The song or rap reflects the profound impact of hatred, discrimination, and violence on students, inspiring them to become agents for positive change. Song or rap lyrics clearly state the problem, concern, or injustice of the story and unfold in a logical sequential progression, ending in what are the students going to do, or what individually or as a class or as a community to address the problems or concerns or injustices that they've discussed in their song. The lyrics tell the reader what the students can and will do to improve things, make a positive change, or help care for each other. Lyrics draw attention to the main message, theme of the song or rap, catch the reader's attention, and convey an emotion. The song rap lyrics are unique, descriptive, and avoid the use of cliche phrases like stop the hate, don't discriminate, as an example. Now, let me present Anitra Howard. She's a teacher from Milkovich Middle School, and she was one of the 2 Teachers of the Year for 2023. Hi, Anitra.
Hello, thank you, Tam, and hello, everyone. I am so excited to speak to you about the wonderful experience that I had with the Stop the Hate program. Last year was the first time that my school participated in the program. We participated in both the Youth Speak Out essay writing contest and the Youth Sing Out songwriting contest. My school won first place for the middle school songwriting contest, and I became one of the Maltz Museum Stop the Hate Teachers of the Year. Wow. The Maltz Museum did an amazing job providing support for both programs through the educational tours that are both in person and virtual. The educational tours really laid out the foundation for the students to be able to have meaningful participation in the program. Both programs help to promote tolerance and impartiality. I have found that the program is also responsible for students finding their voice and viewing themselves as upstanders who readily speak out against bias. But each program also has distinct qualities that allow students to benefit greatly in different ways. The Youth Speak Out essay writing contest allowed the students to share their own personal experiences about bias and hate. Unfortunately, the reality is that many young people have first-person accounts of personal attacks or have witnessed personal attacks rooted in hate. The essay contest allows the students to tell their story with the hope that their story can help stop the hate. I was so impressed with the invaluable help provided by Lake Erie Inc. We simply could not have done it without them, and I look forward to working with them again. They are so patient and thorough in providing all of the assistance needed to prepare the students for the contest. Lake Erie Inc. helped the students develop high-quality writing skills. They help the students choose their topic all the way through peer editing, and revision. In the end, the students were able to produce work in which they were very proud to share. The Youth Sing Out songwriting contest was a lot of fun. I found as a side benefit that the songwriting contest was an excellent way to build a sense of community among the students. The song is a collaborative effort among the students. The talented artists of the Roots of American Music were very skilled in getting the students to craft lyrics that represent the message the student truly wanted to share. And as we know, music can be a powerful tool for change. I want to encourage everyone to participate in the important work done by the Stop the Hate program. Negativity and hate is so prevalent in our society today. It's important to keep the message of tolerance and anti-bias in the forefront to help change the narrative. There aren't many youth programs that can earnestly be called life-changing, but the Stop the Hate program is just that important. Thank you for allowing me to share my experience. Now, I'd like to turn it back over to Liz, who will describe how to sign up for a workshop.
Thanks, Anitra. I really appreciate you joining us tonight and sharing your experience, and I look forward to working with you again this year. Now, educators, if you are interested in booking a workshop or even a tour, please visit the Stop the Hate website, learn.maltzmuseum.org. Now, once you're there, you're going to scroll kind of to the center of the page and click on the button that says Book a Workshop. This will direct you to our Stop the Hate interest form. Once the form is completed, I will contact you directly to share information about tours, workshops, and to get you in touch with our workshop partners. You can also contact us directly, and please do not hesitate to do so. You can reach us at education@mmjh.org for workshops, tours, questions, or if you would like to schedule a visit for Courtney to speak to your students about the Stop the Hate contest. Speaking of Courtney, I know there's something new and exciting on this page that she would like to share with you.
This is very exciting. We love giving back to schools. So schools, listen up. This is new. We have an anti-bias community. We have 3 anti-bias community grants. Again, this is learn.maltzmuseum.org. This is the first page of the website. If you go down to the last check mark, you see where I have highlighted it. These are 3 grants that we will be giving away for $5,000 each. Schools in the 12-county radius that I spoke about, it is it's on this application sheet. So if you are in this 12-county radius, your school, you can apply to these community grants, and we will get back to you. We will let you know if you have won it during the year, and you will be able to use it. And there's more information, as you can see. So with that, I want to let you know if you do have any questions, of course, you can ask, you can email us and let us know, and hopefully we'll be able to answer you. We're just very excited to give away wonderful opportunities to schools, students, and teachers. And with that, Daryl, I think we are ready for some Q&A and some closing remarks.
Thank you, Courtney, and thank you all who make this Stop the Hate possible. We are fortunate to have such an incredible group of people working together. Now, before we open the conversation for questions, I would love to extend an invitation to all our teachers to join us on October 25th, that's my birthday, for a free VIP educator social and tour of our upcoming exhibition, The Girl in the Diary, Searching for Rivkov from the Lodz Ghetto. Please visit maltzmuseum.org for more information. Renee, will you please share the link to the Girl in the Diary in the chat, please? Thank you. Renee's been working hard behind the scenes with us tonight, and we'll pose all of your questions to the appropriate parties. Renee, I turn the mic over to you.
Thanks, Daryl. Hello again, everyone. I am happy to field any questions that you have. Please put them actually in the Q&A would be most helpful, I think. If you can put your questions in there, and all of these very helpful folks who've been sharing with us are standing by to make sure no one leaves with any questions in their minds.
I do want to share, we have, and for those of you who are new to our program, if you go again to learn.maltzmuseum.org and you click on the digital tour and you go down to Stop the Hate tour, you click on that, you will see our Stop the Hate digital tour, as was Daryl mentioned in the beginning. And I know Tam and Cynthia mentioned this as well, that before you take your workshops, you will be using this digital tour with a reflection sheet. And that I just wanted to make sure that you knew where it was. Even if you're not taking a workshop, if you're a student, if you're a parent, if you're a teacher, this is all free, okay? This is free for all of you as a resource from us.
Yeah, I think this means that people were super helpful and informative. And of course, if you think of a question later, you know how to get a hold of Courtney, and she can definitely direct any questions that come in or answer them herself. So thanks everyone for being here tonight.
And remember to visit us online at learn.maltzmuseum.org to explore more about the program. And as at this time, we like to wish everyone a good evening, and we look forward to seeing you and participating in the Stop the Hate contest for 2023-2024.